Arch Manning. The Arch Manning tour has been announced, and as I understand it, it includes Texas, Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
But there are 2 spots available, and there's thought out there that LSU might be one of those 2.
I would be shocked if LSU did not get one of those final 2 spots. They've made at least some sort of push with Joe Sloan that has gotten them way further than the previous, regime would have been able to. And I feel like they've crossed some sort of Rubicon. It's obviously not anywhere close to LSU being the destination for Arch, but I feel like there's some progress there. And I feel like LSU will get that visit just because it's, the hometown, school of where all the Mannings grew up. And then Arch, had his greatest years in the NFL, New Orleans Saints. There's so much history in Louisiana with the Manning family. I think that will at least be enticing enough for Arch. What's up, Carter, and his family to check out?
Got Carter here from LSU Power Hour joining us for a little LSU talk tonight live. So again, comments and questions, get them there in the comments section. We'll pass them on. Carter, what's going on tonight?
What's up? Congrats, Lon, on all your personal success, and congrats to you, Mark. I go on Florida State last week, and now hanging out with the fellow LSU guy. And of course, you saw what happened on your show last week, Mark. Got the Miami contingent out there going crazy. Hurricane Nation really thinks they got something going with Mario.
So now you know, Carter, why I have you guys on. In addition to your great insight, knowledge, and the entertainment value, it's also to kind of rein everybody in, to quiet the crowd, help me contain these folks.
Yeah, it's great. I heard Lon talking about the Mannings, and from a national perspective, Mark, from where you're sitting, everyone wants to talk about Arch, right? But it's just like everything else, right? If you're like a casual NBA fan, you only care about LeBron and Steph, when the league is John Morant and Jordan Poole and all these other guys. And it's kind of the same thing as like an LSU YouTuber, because the number one question I get, I don't know about Lon, is like Arch Manning questions. But it's interesting because like LSU's after all these other 5-star quarterbacks, and there's 2 other really good 4-star quarterbacks in Louisiana. So it's amazing like how layered sports can be.
Yeah, and of course his name is going to be the talent is obvious because the evaluations, the scouting reports back up the talent. But at the same time, the name is what it is. So yes, to your point, Carter, the periphery fans will latch on to Arch Manning. But how important is he to bring into the fold?
I don't think he's that important at all, right? Like you got to look at it this way, Mark, and this, and Lon knows this. Only one quarterback can play. So for me, LSU's got other quarterbacks that they're after. Who's to say Dante Moore is not better? He is a 5-star quarterback, albeit from the north. Is he actually going to come to LSU? I don't know. That's kind of a long shot, but it's also kind of not, because he has come down to LSU so much. Jaden Rashad is someone else that's been connected to LSU, a 5-star. And then, Eli Holstein, another top 100 4-star recruit. So yeah, Arch is obviously a really good talent, but it's not the end of the world if LSU misses out on that. And Lon, as you've pointed out, you follow recruiting really closely. LSU is doing pretty good for 2024 quarterback, getting DJ Lagway, one of the best quarterbacks in 2024 on campus. So, it's not an all or nothing thing when it comes to the quarterback position.
So, Lon, is it almost just as important to get the visit and show, hey, we are toe for toe with Georgia, Alabama, etc., than it is to get the actual player and just continue to be in that top 5 grouping of teams that everybody talks about, especially in the South when they talk about the elite of recruiting?
I mean, this is an optics world where everything is about how things look and how things appear. And if Kelly is, having these photos with him and Arch and the Mannings, whether we get Arch or not, it boosts, what LSU looks like as a quarterback school and how we can recruit quarterbacks now. And there's another name as well left out here, Ricky Collins. I feel like this young man has a big chance of showing up in an LSU uniform, and I think he's floating right there under the radar. Brian Wilson out of Chino Hills, another 2024 quarterback. Mabry Matower out of Texas. DJ Lagway, of course. There's a lot of crazy depth to the 2023 and 2024 quarterback rooms, and LSU already have a crowded quarterback room currently. So the dominoes are going to start falling, Carter and Mark. It's going to be very interesting as far as LSU and quarterbacks over the next few years.
Yeah, and that's a good point about Ricky Collins. Woodlawn, that's a school that hasn't produced like 1,000 LSU players, and he's kind of, because he's with Arch Manning, flown under the radar. And I think if LSU did up the ante and really went after Ricky Collins, Ricky would be very interested in LSU, knowing that he is committed right now to Purdue. And what's very interesting is Purdue, of course, has put some really good players into the NFL on the offensive side of the football. So, recruiting is so different now, obviously, with the transfer portal. Everyone watching this right now understands like how different recruiting is right now. But I do find this so fascinating now with Brian Kelly hitting the ground running, and Lon wrote about it this weekend. He had another big recruiting weekend this past weekend, getting Tackett Curtis on campus, a top 100 linebacker from the state of Louisiana.